I said, let's sit down, let's work together. The Democrats, they could have lifted the debt ceiling prior to me becoming Speaker. They knew the outcome of the election already. They knew we were taking power. They passed an omnibus bill, but they decided not to do the rising of the debt ceiling, even though they thought people should just raise it cleanly. Speaking with the President, I told him two things. We'll not raise taxes. Why? Because we got more revenue coming in to our coffers at any time in American history. The problem is the Democrats had been in power and they increased the amount of spending to the highest level we've ever had at any time in American history, especially to GDP. And now we have the highest debt at any time to American history. So I just think it's common sense, it's reasonable and it's rational that we spend less next year than we spend this year. Every household would do this. We have money that sits out there, COVID, that's been appropriated that hasn't been used. We now know the damage that the Democrats have done in the majority when they spent that extra $6 trillion. It brought us inflation, harming every single family, made us more dependent upon China. It created 3 of the largest 4 bank failures in American history in the last couple months. We cannot continue down this path. But the President waited 97 days, not even to talk to me. He could have spoken to me and said we were wrong on other angles, but he didn't. And now we're 8 days away from Biden having a default. I don't want that to happen. That's why the Republicans in the House in April lifted the debt ceiling with common sense, sensible things. They're pulling the COVID money back. Work requirements, they let people go back to work, help our supply chain, make us less dependent on China, and more importantly, people working, then they're paying into Social Security and Medicare, making those 2 entities stronger, and then making us stronger in our energy field where we're cutting the red tape, where we could build things in America again, putting people back to work. That's reasonable, that's rational, but it sits in the Senate. But if the President waits too long, he can always take that up.
You said finish the negotiations. Has there been appreciable progress over the last?
Look, there's differences. We know where it's at. You have to spend less than you spent last year. That's not that difficult to do. But in Washington, somehow, that is a problem. They have increased spending with the Democrats in the majority on discretionary spending by more than 33%. No household's been able to afford to do that.